Welcome back to another edition of Drotalks. Dro here. Today we will be going over the best audiobooks of 2018 that I listened to in 2018. We'll be going over the top 5. That's right. In July I did a very similar where I did the top 5 up until that point, but I included books that I just listened to that year, so a lot of them came out in years prior. So if you don't see some of those books returning, that's the reason. I decided to keep this a 2018 exclusive club. Now granted, this is my opinion and according to me, and I guarantee you're going to see a couple similarities in all these books. So it's going to be kind of telling as to what kind of books I really enjoyed in the year 2018. So without further ado, let's get started. At number 5. At number 5, we have the Helldiver series, specifically Wolves. And this is the latest edition by Nicholas Sansbury Smith and narrated by my man, R.C. Bray. This book continues what is an incredible story review soon to come of not only this tale but the entire series. It is great. It's a post-apocalyptic look into a potential future of ours, which is seems to be kind of the speciality of Mr. Nicholas Sansbury Smith, and this by all means is fantastic. It revolves around airships and people that dive from them. We dive to keep humanity alive. Great tale. And there's so many things I love about this book in particular and this entire series. Me as a minority, one of the main leads is also a minority. So it's very nice that you can see yourself in this role. I'm not exactly an Xavier Rodriguez by any means, but it is nice. It's a different take. So this is definitely one to put on your Christmas list. Number 4. At number 4, we have the utterly uninteresting tales of Fred the Vampire Accountant. And this is also a series, and it's the latest version, Deadly Assessments. This is a series by Drew Hayes and narrated by Kirby Hayborn. Man, this is a great series. This is one of those... There is an overall story arc throughout the entire series that carries this over, but each one is an individual tale, and it is a delight. You have a vampire that breaks all the rules of what it means to be a vampire, and in doing so, this uninteresting, very unrebellious individual who is a very boring individual in life and continues to be a very boring individual after life, by maintaining to who he is, becomes one of the biggest rebels in this universe. One thing Drew Hayes does amazingly well is world building. And this is another fantastical world that he builds. It's very interesting, where we have all these different supernatural beings that live together in a sort of harmony, I guess you could say. And it's just a fantastical ride. Number 3. The Frontline series. I think you can kind of see a trend here. A lot of series. Spoiler alert, they're all series. But the Frontline series, specifically Points of Impact by Marco Cluse and narrated by Luke Daniels. This has been a tale that I have just grown to love. It started all the way with boot camp and to where we are now. So basically this is Starship Troopers, but fleshed out way more realistically. And it's beautiful. It's a great story. It is a series that builds upon each other book. And this one just keeps building that up, building up that story, building up that anticipation. Marco, come on, man. Bring out that next book. I follow you on Twitter, and you've been taking it easy on the Frontline series. So we need one. We need like 2 of these a year. So definitely the Frontline series is fantastic. So, give a gift to your best friend, your significant other, or even your parents. This is a tale for everyone. Number 2. Here we got Expeditionary Force, specifically Mavericks by Craig Allison. I think that's the way. Yep. Ellenson. I'm sorry, man, if I butchered your last name. But Mr. Allenson, and this story is also narrated by none other. I'll let you guess. Let's take a moment. R.C. Bray. Yeah, I mean, he's good. What can I say? When you're talented, you're talented. I mean, that's all there is to it. So this is another sci-fi adventure. It is hilarious, while at the same time exploring a vast world. There's a lot of political intrigue. I guess not a lot. A bit of political intrigue between a bunch of different alien species and how they associate. So this tale continues to bump that up. There's a beer can, and he's hilarious. And I remember when I first listened to the first book and the beer can came to be, and I was like, this is the worst idea ever. This ain't right. This is a ploy to get humanity to compete with alien species. I was dead wrong. That beer can, he is awesome, and I just can't wait for the next series. So Mr. Allenson, I'm so sorry. Craig, I'm going to call you Craig. Craig, yeah, 2 a year. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of stuff to do, but, one vacation less, quit going to the gym, eat one meal less. I mean, there's a way to fit 2 of these stories per year, definitely. So do that. And do yourself a favor and pick up Mavericks by Craig Allison. Number 1. Yeah, you ain't gonna be surprised. Superpowers Year 4, which ends the series of my most beloved audiobook I think I've ever listened to. Superpowers follow a group of former powards who are people with superpowers, but they can't control them. They undergo experimental procedure, so they gain control of their powers, and they go to college. And in this college, they both go to college and they train to become superheroes, because not every person with superpowers can become a superhero. And we follow them. We follow them their freshman year, their sophomore year, their junior year, and it accumulated this year with their senior year, and it was amazing. I'm talking about, this was the longest audiobook I think I've ever... No, I don't think. This was the longest audiobook I ever listened to, and I already listened to it twice. Yeah, and it was awesome. I want to say it was better the second time. So, I even forgot to tell you who wrote this and who narrated. That is how awesome this audiobook is. And it was written by Drew Hayes and narrated by Kyle McCarley, who... he's like narrating legend status. There are so many characters in this book, and he voices them all, and I never get confused. I know exactly who's on the table, who's taking center stage. There's even characters that are very similar that never appeared together before. They appeared together, and I still didn't get confused. I mean, Kyle McCarley, man, you are underpaid. And Drew Hayes, I know you want to take a break from this world, and you did complete it. I mean, no loose ends, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2. There's an Easter egg there that I re-listened to this series, and I still have yet to find. But yeah, don't take too long of a break. Drew Hayes has a similar series where he has a other universe. Again, world building. Drew Hayes is fantastic. But it centers around supervillains. It's unrelated to this universe at the moment. I see where you're going with that. He did release a tweet recently that he's going to make a part 2 to Hephaestus, which was awesome. Review soon to come. I'm not sure if it's going to be a part 2 to Hephaestus, that particular character herself, or it's going to be in that world, but we need more Hephaestus, so include her in some shape, form, fashion, please. She was amazing. So yeah, those were my top 5 picks. I do have a couple honorable mentions, but there was a lot of good books this year. It's very hard to narrow it down just to 5. This is my personal point of view, so if your audiobook wasn't here, put a comment below. Maybe I haven't even listened to it yet. There's a lot of audiobooks that come out, and there's only so many hours in the day. So honorable mentions. Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, written by Neil deGrasse Tyson and narrated by that smooth-talking mofo, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Probably one of my last honorable mentions would be The Singularity Trap by Dennis E. Taylor and narrated by Roy Porter. So, that was my list. What's your list? I look forward to seeing it in the comments. Giveaway going on once I get to 113 subscribers. All you have to do is give a like, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribed, and you'll be entered into that giveaway. I'm going to give away 6 audiobooks to 6 lucky individuals. Once I get to 113, I'm currently at 95, so they might even go out this year. Hey, you could re-gift them for a Christmas gift. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, hit that like, make sure you ring that bell to get notified, and we'll see you next time.